Okay, this is the third video. We've been talking about Myers-Briggs, and we've been talking about four sections. And going back to Hippocrates' time, it was the power of four. Now, what we have here is the big five. All right, this aspect here received criticism, or this personality inventory assessment received criticism because there were five aspects there, and I know individuals felt as though who were pundits in this area that hey, there should just be four, what there has been. But nonetheless, the big five, and these are acronyms. It can be ocean or it can be canoe, or it doesn't have to be either, depending on how you categorize them. Now, this is what is interesting here. We have the big five, and we're also going to be taking an assessment in the big five. We have openness. These are individuals who are open to adventure. You've seen individuals go into a restaurant, and some people, the first thing they do is open up the menu and look at everything that's different in the menu. Appetizers, maybe a refreshment beverage, different types of salads, hamburgers, steaks. And then there's other individuals that go into the restaurant and the menu remains closed, and they'll just say, I'll have my usual pancakes and eggs. They're not openness to a new experience. Okay, then we have conscientiousness, and these are individuals who plan and who are organized and who basically want to do what that famous philosopher told us, Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. And so we have a scale rated on this. Now remember, going clear back to the beginning of this, I talked about a degree, a little bit to a little big bunch. And we have to remember this all the way through, that we're not just all settled in on just one aspect. It is a continuum from a little bit to a big bunch. Remember that. Remember that as we go through this. Extroversion we talked about. I referred to that as having the battery, extroversion, introversion. Here they just go ahead and they focus in on extroversion. Agreeableness. Agreeableness is really an interesting thing, particularly if another person that we are with is very high in agreeableness. These are individuals that want to get along, don't want to upset the apple cart, and I think maybe it was expressed in forums there in our discussions, just go with the flow. Very agreeable. And then we have individuals that anything you say is incorrect. Even though you are absolutely right, you are incorrect because they didn't think about it. It was your thought. Therefore, it cannot be correct. Anything that comes out of you is not right. It has to come from here in order for it to be right. Agreeableness. Again, we have a continuum. Neuroticism. This is a tendency when we have unpleasant emotions that we become angry, we become anxious and depressed, vulnerable in some way. And it talks about a degree of emotions. Now, two individuals can be facing the same situation. We'll say a negative situation. One comes through it quite nicely, and the other one has a difficult time in it. All right, I'm going to try to finish up in this video, so I may go kind of fast in some, but I will slow down in others. Besides that, we have it in our text. Personality is an enduring pattern of behaviors, usually starting in childhood or adolescence. Okay, is it childhood or is it adolescence? Depends on who you talk to. If you talk to Sigmund Freud, he'll say childhood. If you talk to Erik Erikson, he'll say adolescence. And so we have different individuals and different viewpoints. Anancastic. This is an interesting word. It's wanting Y, but you have to do X before getting Y. So supposing an individual is in love with another and that another said, okay, I will fall in love with you, but first you have to see my family. So wanting Y, okay, I'll get Y, but I have to meet the family X before getting Y, your love. Personality is somewhat like a persona. It is a mask, and some individuals think that it comes from the theater where an individuals would wear a particular mask in the theater depicting laughter or sadness or whatever. But and sometimes personality can be a mask. We have type A and type B personalities. Type A is very driving and outgoing. Type B is somewhat laid back. We have optimist and pessimist. This is an interesting group. Optimists or the pessimists. There's just some individuals that can't see it as being half full. It has to be half empty. And I think looking at this, folks, all we know about stress and the blood-brain barrier, uh, I would say that probably it's more important to be an optimist, but we can't always do that. And I'm not going to come along again with cliches and say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I'm not going to do that. I mean, the cliche works great for someone who is on top of the world, but other than that, it doesn't work. Okay, it's going to require another video. And so I'm going to go ahead and complete this video and get it on. And then we will come back and we will look at how many personality disorders? 10. How many is in the tetracty? 10. The perfect number is 10, even though we have the power of 4. When we're looking at personalities, it's divided into 3 clusters, and the clusters are divided. And so on the next video, that is the area that we will be looking at.